15 of America's top doctors surrounded a billionaire's bed, and all of them failed. But then, a 14-year-old janitor's son walked in and uncovered a truth that turned the entire hospital upside down. The piercing alarms inside Manhattan Elite Medical Center's VIP wing shattered the night silence. Billionaire tech giant Alexander Grant lay convulsing on the pristine white bed, his skin pale, lips trembling, pupils blown wide. Around him, the nation's most celebrated doctors scrambled, shouting orders, injecting drugs, and flipping through files. Yet every second that passed dragged him closer to death. Outside that luxurious room, a thin boy in worn sneakers pushed a mop bucket down the polished marble hallway. His name was Ethan Cole, just 14, the son of the cleaning lady. His mother, Marissa, had warned him 1,000 times. "Keep your head down. Don't draw attention. We're here to clean, not to be seen." But Ethan wasn't looking at the floor. His sharp eyes were glued to the blinking monitor inside the half-open door. Every beep, every rhythm, every twitch of the patient's body, he absorbed it like oxygen. Marissa tugged his sleeve nervously. "Ethan, stop staring. If someone notices, we'll lose this job." But Ethan whispered under his breath, trembling, "They're treating him wrong. They're going to kill him." Inside the conference room, lead physician, Dr. X, Richard Hale, slammed his fist on the polished oak table. "We've tried everything. Antivirals, antibiotics, experimental therapies. Nothing works." Dr. Morgan, another top specialist, rubbed his temple. "Maybe it's a rare neurological syndrome, something European, exotic." Ethan crouched near the vent, listening, his fists clenched. Rare syndromes? Ridiculous. He had spent 3 years sneaking into the hospital library at night, reading discarded medical journals, memorizing autopsy reports, and observing surgeries through cracked doors. He knew the truth was simpler and far more terrifying. He remembered it vividly. 3 years ago, room 214, a patient named Samuel Price with the same symptoms: tremors, confusion, seizures. The doctors had failed him too, calling it an undiagnosed condition. But Ethan had later read the autopsy report tossed into the trash. Cause of death: mercury poisoning. And now, Alexander Grant was following the exact same path. Heart pounding, Ethan whispered to his mother in the supply closet, "Mom, it's poisoning, not a brain disease. If they keep giving him the wrong meds, he'll die." Marissa froze. She had always known her son's mind was different. He remembered every detail, every face, every case. But she also knew no one would believe a janitor's son. "Ethan, please, these are world-famous doctors. Don't get us into trouble." But Ethan shook his head. "They're blind, Mom, and I see what they don't." Minutes later, as Dr. Hale stormed out of the VIP suite, Ethan stepped forward, his voice firm despite the tremor in his hands. "Doctor, you need to test Mr. X, Grant, for mercury poisoning." The hallway went silent. Nurses, residents, even security guards turned to stare. Hale froze, then slowly turned toward the boy. "Excuse me? Did you just interrupt me?" Ethan stood tall. Tremors, dilated pupils, confusion, identical to Samuel Price in 2020. "I read the autopsy. Mercury poisoning." A cruel smirk twisted Hale's lips. "You're a janitor's kid. Stay in your lane." "Security," he barked. "Get them out, now." Marissa's face burned with humiliation as guards approached. But before they could drag them away, Alexander's monitor screamed again. Beep, beep, beep. The billionaire's body convulsed violently, doctors rushing back in chaos. Ethan whispered to his mom, "If they don't test him in 12 hours, he's gone." That night, as silence crept back into the halls, Ethan found himself in the library again, flipping through a toxicology manual. A gentle voice startled him. "Ethan, why are you here?" It was Dr. Sophia Lynn, a young resident who had always been kind to him and his mother. Ethan showed her the book, finger pressing the page. "Every symptom matches mercury poisoning. Look, Grant's being poisoned slowly, probably through his personal items. Toothpaste, medicine, maybe aftershave." Dr. Lynn's eyes widened. That's not illness. That's attempted murder. Exactly, Ethan said, eyes blazing. But no one will believe me. Not without proof. I need your help. During the next shift change, Ethan slipped silently into Alexander Grant's room with Dr. Lin covering for him. He examined the billionaire's belongings one by one: imported painkillers, luxury aftershave, foreign toothpaste. Then he froze. The toothpaste shimmered with a faint silver tint, barely noticeable. His heart raced. He scraped a sample into a tiny container from the lab. What do you think you're doing? The icy voice sliced through the room. Dr. Hale stood in the doorway, flanked by 2 security guards. Ethan didn't flinch. Collecting evidence. Evidence? Hale barked a laugh. This is a hospital, not a detective show. But before guards could move, Dr. Lin stepped forward. Doctor, maybe we should at least hear him out. Mr. Grant is deteriorating fast, and nothing else has worked. Ethan held out the vial. Test this. If I'm wrong, kick me out forever. But if I'm right, his gaze locked onto Hale. Then you'll have to explain how a 14-year-old saved a billionaire's life when 15 experts failed. For the first time, Hale hesitated. The boy's confidence was unnerving. 2 hours later, Hale returned, his face pale, voice shaking. The lab results, positive. Lethal levels of organic mercury in the toothpaste. The hallway erupted in shocked gasps. 15 world-class doctors stared at Ethan as if he had risen from the dead. Ethan's voice was steady. Start treatment with dimercaprol. 50 milligrams per pound, intramuscularly, every 4 hours. Hale opened his mouth to protest, then closed it. He had no choice. Within hours, Alexander's vitals stabilized. His seizures stopped. Color returned to his skin. For the first time in weeks, the billionaire had a fighting chance. But Ethan wasn't relieved. Not yet. He turned to Dr. Lin, whispering, "This wasn't an accident. Someone poisoned him intentionally. Now we have to find out who." Dr. Lin's face hardened. You just saved the most powerful man in America. If someone wanted him dead, we're standing in the middle of something much bigger than medicine. Ethan gazed out the hospital window at the glittering New York skyline. His voice was low, determined. Sometimes being invisible is the greatest power. Because when no one sees you, you see everything. The camera of fate zoomed out on the boy with a mop in one hand and the secret of life in the other, ready to uncover a conspiracy darker than anyone imagined. This wasn't just the story of saving a billionaire. It was the story of an invisible genius who proved that brilliance doesn't come from wealth, race, or titles. It can come from anywhere. The question now is, who tried to kill Alexander Grant and why?